I watched it
Oh,
yesterday at
did
the gym. Yesterday, 2 days
man,
ago.
man.
Not to step on deck. What were your
Oh,
thoughts?
we not gonna talk about it. That's
Why
part of my
not?
thoughts.
Really, really, why not? Because it's not Southern.
Not even that, man. It's just like I fuck with that Ray Vaughn album. It's cold. It's probably the album of the year so far for me.
Yeah,
And I like Joey Badass. He can rap. But I think we've fallen into this place where people think that beef is gonna make them popular, more popular. And that's what these niggas is doing. Like that Joey Badass, the final song, he was ripping that.
yeah.
Like that was some elite level rapping. But I just don't care. Like I mean, so, and here's it's a wide variety of like thoughts on it. I mean, one group chat with some niggas and they like, man, like it's like watching a regular season game of the Sacramento Kings versus the fucking
Really?
name some the Raptors. This is like watching the Kings versus the Raptors in the regular season. Like, who cares about
Really?
this?
That's all.
100
Really?
100%. And that was it's maybe 8 niggas in that group chat, and that was the majority of them. They was like, bro, who cares that y'all niggas are going back and forth? But then in another group chat I'm in, the niggas was like, I said that because I kind of feel the same way. And he's like, oh, you just old. You just old head and blah blah this, blah blah that. And I was like, bro, like
I don't even think it's either. I don't even think it's that. I think it's just different perspective. It's how you're looking at it.
But
You're looking at it as the individuals involved, right? And you're looking
okay.
at the content going back and forth. I'm like you. I don't necessarily care about another beef or back and forth, but I didn't take it as that either. I took it as you niggas said it was like the Kings playing the Raptors. I looked at it as the niggas on YouTube playing ones. I looked at it. Me and Phil was talking about it. Phil was like, it was like watching league niggas playing 21. And the sport of hip hop.
Yeah.
The first thing I had from on deck, which is I don't want y'all. I don't know what. Listen, I get y'all not wanting to talk about it itself, but the concept of it and 3 niggas just in a cipher talking to each other and other things, because it wasn't like it was just them 3 battling each other, but they did have shots at each other. But that's more so not a beat perspective to me. It was more so, listen, I'm nice, and nigga, if you want to poke the bear, you can do. I just want to let you know, like, we can be cool, we can dap up and all that. And I did see somebody say it from, and this is where my stance comes from as well. People were talking about, man, Soul being there, you know, it made it look, it's almost worse for Ray Vaughn, like that. He Soul being there, he listening to the shots and all that. But I look at it as, I think Soul was there just to remind it, because this is rap. Like, this is what we do. Like, so we can be cool, but if we get on a verse together, no different than Reservoir Dogs, right? Hov and Styles P taking shots at each other on the song just because, nigga, I'm in the booth with you. That's what I do. You got 6 niggas that can rap their ass off, nigga. I'm going at everybody. Biggie's the Locks first song they recorded with Bad Boy. Biggie took shots at the Locks on there. Niggas talking it but ain't living it. Like that.
Yeah.
That's just the sport of it. It ain't no beef, it ain't no love. And that's what I looked at it as. I didn't look at it as niggas trying to get hot off the beef. I looked at it as like, let's bring the sport of it back. After a year of real deal beef that ended up in a fucking lawsuit, which is still insane, I think niggas was like, all right, then bet sport. It's no different than, Lou, you say you nice at ones, shit, I'm nice at ones. Nigga, check up.
Okay.
And we're going to get out there, we're going to talk our shit. Nigga, it's going to be highly contested, and afterwards we're going to dap him like, oh, this nigga Lou nice. This nigga Rich nice. And I think that's all I look at it as. I love the sport of it. I love the competition.
Does it excite you about hip hop?
Not any more than, now that's where the old comment would come in for me as well. Not like it would 15 years ago if I was, 22, 23. Like, hip hop is what it is to me right now. It just is what it is. I don't know if there's anything that's gonna make it more exciting to me. Like, there's certain people I wait on the drop and I'm cool, but I've seen it. I've seen it in its golden days, its glory days.
And that's why I fall in it. Like, I do agree with most of your sentiment and what you said. Like, it was cool to watch. Big Sean killed it. I like Ray Vaughn's response. I like, again, the final song by Joey Badass. But it wasn't exciting, nigga. I remember when shit used to be exciting, nigga. Like, I remember when you was waiting on albums to drop, or did you see this freestyle? And nothing really does that for me anymore. It peaked this year. Of course, we had the beef last year. That was exciting. That was oh, you sitting at work, you doing whatever you do throughout the day, nigga. Kendrick responded, nigga.
Yeah,
nigga, hit play right now. Whatever, stop the meeting, nigga. I gotta go outside. I gotta run to the bathroom real quick, nigga. I gotta go listen to this. That restored the feeling for a little bit, but it also, I feel like moving forward, from people who you have seen the golden era we call it hip hop, is like it ain't gonna get past that anymore. Like that was the last of that, in my opinion. And it's sad for me to say in a culture and a thing that I love, that I started my whole fucking media persona based off of that thing, that hip hop thing. But now it's kind of sad to look at, because you have this and it should be exciting, but it's just not. And that got me to thinking, like, what would be exciting? Like, I'm not waiting on nobody to drop. I don't care if Drake come back. I want to hear Cole's next album, but it ain't gonna be exciting. It ain't gonna be like, oh, we hit the group chat. Did you hear that? Did you see that? Like we used to be. Have you heard this yet? So it makes me wonder, like, hip hop is on a downward trajectory, because like nobody can muster up excitement anymore.
Well,
and I don't know if that's being old or if that's just because we've seen the best of it.
No one can muster up excitement to us.
Okay.
That just comes with it, man. I remember when Donald Glover, Childish Gambino, that famous Sway freestyle he had a bar and they said, when you rich, you don't take pictures, you just see it again. You know what I mean? Like, it's not your first time doing shit, it's always gonna be the loudest. You always gonna be excited. Once you do it, we talked about this. Me and Rachel talked about this on We Got Y'all when we covered Run the World, which was on Stars last year. There was a moment where this chick who was married was having like issues with her husband. They were estranged. Low key trying to work on it, but still dating and still doing their own thing. And the shit was called like Press the Foss, whatever it was. It was like a competition to Spotify. Dude was a billionaire. She ended up like meeting him and messing with her. He was on some, I'm gonna send the plane so we can go to Cuba for a certain meal, because she said she wanted it. But her heart wasn't with him. Her heart was with her husband. Now, don't get me wrong, that shit was cool, but after a while, once it becomes normal, once it becomes regular, the excitement ain't the same. Yeah, that might be exciting for a nigga who don't know shit or who hasn't experienced anything like that, but if that's part of your everyday life, it gets stale. The same way anything else does. You can have the highest profession. People are in the NBA, NFL, and some of them don't like their job. And there's a whole world of niggas that's like, I would love to be in the NBA. And niggas like, man, I've done this shit for X amount of years. It's more so how we look at things, how we get jaded by it, in my opinion. And that's a generation. That's why our parents, growing up, we listen to the music we listen to, and they'd be like, who was that? Like, what? Huh? Man, turn the OJs back on. Turn Mike back on. Turn Prince back on. Turn Stevie back on. Turn Luther back on. And that's why they still play those hits today. And I'm sure you do the same. You find yourself listening to 8 Ball and MJ3 that came out in 93.
True.
Or MJG, excuse me. So I think it's more so one of those.
That's a part of it. I don't deny that.
Yeah.
But what I would wonder, see, and it's different.
I got a question for you once you finish this point. I got an overall question.
Okay. What I don't see now, why I say I feel like I'm not excited, it's not mainly that I've seen it, it's just the approach to it from the athlete. And you can compare this to the NBA, you can do it with hip hop. It's like, I seen Jordan play. And yeah, Jordan was nice, but what made it even better was how much he wanted that shit. Same thing with Kobe. I didn't like Kobe for a long time until I really paid attention. Like, nah, buddy, different. And he told his daughter, he was like, he gave her a quote. He was like, the goal ain't getting there. What the goal is getting up and being able to do it every day. Yeah, I'm Kobe, but I'm still waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Just like you said with Styles P. With Styles, you could tell the hunger he had, and part of the problem that he had when he did Hove in that verse is like, you got us in the studio all night, and then when it's time to go lay the verses, you leave and go to the club. Like, you disrespected me, and I love this shit so much. I'm not letting you get away with that, and I know I'm nice. I seen Styles P talking today when he was going to Jim Jones, and he was like, nigga, because Jim Jones said he had a better catalog, and Styles like, nigga, we don't even do the same thing, nigga. Like my bar is gonna hit your soul, and we come from a generation that cared a lot more about their craft, in my opinion. So when I see these dudes doing it, Big Sean, Rayvon, Joey
Absolutely,
Badass,
man, Joey Badass,
absolutely, all of those. It's like, yep, y'all are nice, but even with Big Sean, it's like, bro, you ain't no killer though. And that's what got us excited about it. I feel like back in the day, like niggas was trying to, like, I'm trying to take your head off to be the fucking best. Like, I'm trying to take your head off to do this in a different way. Like, I can even go to podcasts. And the reason that I listen to Joe Budden on a weekly basis, he's the only podcast I probably listen to weekly all the way through, because he want to be the fucking nigga. I'm the nigga in this space. I'm taking your head off. I'm dancing on niggas' grave when your podcast failed and playing the little song that he played. Like, yeah, nigga, what a competition at. I don't feel like, even with that, all of this stuff was nice. It wasn't, it still don't feel like the competition aspect of it is authentic. It feel like Rayvon is trying to catch a wave, because I seen Kendrick and Drake do this. And maybe it's just me being cynical, but it feels like Joey Badass is trying to catch a wave. It don't feel like, oh, I think I'm the best nigga doing this, and I'm putting my chest out, and whoever wants some, even though that's what they saying. It still don't appear that way.
I see. I think it's what you. I think you saying that kind of contradicts. Well, not contradicts. Excuse me. I think you're looking at it from a sense of that, but it's really Rayvon and Styles P. Not bar for bar. What I mean is, in the scenario that you gave, right?
Not from a skill.
I was out
not
here,
from a skill level.
Yeah, not from a skill set. Even though Rayvon nice, don't get me wrong.
He is.
Nigga, I was over here minding my business. You taking shots at the coast because I am so competitive, because I do want to be the best at this shit, because I do. That's an open invite. Anybody can get it. And that's how I kind of look at it. Anybody can get it. Now, what you're saying, does it have any merit? Absolutely. A lot of people saw that wave. And I think, here's what I think, and I'm going to ask you directly, because obviously it's your opinion. That started buzzing a little bit towards the end of the Kendrick Drake beef. If that just started, like, let's say a week or two ago, you think you would feel differently about it, like trying to ride the beef wave? Or since it was kind of a little bit attached to it while they were beefing, or does it matter at all?
I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters at all. I'll go to the control verse. And even the reason why the Kendrick and Drake beef was so impactful, I think it starts there. It don't start at like that. It don't start with the Future song. It start with the control verse and Kendrick being a nigga that we song. It's like, nah, nigga, like you said, we play the ones. I'm going at you and we can dap it up after that, but I'm better than all y'all niggas. I'm gonna say it too. Like Jordan used to say that. Kobe would say that. The reason we love Anthony Edwards so much is he say that. He believed, you could tell he believed that. But then you look at a nigga like Jason Tatum, it's like, I don't know, you nice. You nice.
We don't believe you. You dog,
yeah, you ain't got that dog in you, bro. Like, I don't believe it. And I think that's a generational thing. And I don't know if it's just me being an old nigga or if that's just how their generation carries themselves. But the top people in the game moving forward, even with a nigga like JID, it don't feel like, I heard him say one time, I got rap dishes for every nigga that's at the top of the game right now. I'm ready for it. But it's like, bro, you just saying that and doing that because you looking for clout. It ain't really because you love this shit. And I may be speaking out of turn. I may be totally wrong. I don't really listen to JID music like that. But I don't believe it, though. I just don't believe it. When he says it, it don't come off as authentic like it came off when Pac was doing Hit 'Em Up, or like when Big was doing Who Shot You. Like it added up. All of it added up, and it don't add up nowadays.
I can understand that. I can understand that. That makes complete sense. I fuck with JID. I want to listen to all his projects. Went to a concert. Why not? Just not your style?
He just rap too fast for me, to be honest with you. He's nice. I will concede that he's nice. He just rap. And people that listen on deck know me. I don't. There's no fast rapper that I like. Yeah, I don't do like I fuck with Bone. That was the end of it. And I know that's way back in the day for the people that may be listening, but fast rap don't do it for me.
You ever heard, and I'm not, let me tell you something I don't like, y'all. I don't like when somebody tell you they don't like something, or I tell somebody I don't like something,
and
then they try to suggest something to try to get you to like it. So what I'm about to say is not one of those like I'm gonna get you to change your mind, Spike Lee. But I am curious. Did you ever hear the song "Crack Sandwich" on his last album?
Nah,
I think you would fuck with
I listened to the last album.
I'm only telling you because I think you would fuck with it. I'm not telling you to listen to the whole album, but I think that song in particular, because it's storytelling, it's not as fast rapping. He's actually telling a story on the 3 verses, and I'm like, oh shit. Now, what you do with it after that, whatever. But I'm, you don't like fast rap, you don't like fast rap. That's like the episode of Entourage we covered, right? That nigga Harvey said, man, in my 40-something years of life, I never sipped cranberry juice. Why would I tell you I want cranberry juice? I ain't gonna do that to you. But
that's my thing with like I get how good Freddie Gibbs is. I just don't. That's not my tempo. Like I get how good Twista is. Like it's just not my tempo. I don't follow rap. Like I don't. When I'm listening to music, I don't listen like that to where I can like I don't keep up with how they like laying their bars down.
That's fair. Gibbs that's a travesty.
Gibbs is nice, but he's nice. But I just like I don't do it.
Hey, we are who we are.
It's the Jeezy thing with Gibbs.
I know you got how you still holding on to it and they ain't holding on to it.
That's
why you gotta love.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they squashed it. Yeah, absolutely. They talked about it a couple. Well, at least
my problem was he went too long with it. He continued to pick at it when I was like, "Let's relax, my nigga."
Yeah, Gibbs gonna be Gibbs. Like I told you before, like there's some things where you just like, all right, bro, chill. Like that was my man's. I'm like, bro, you doing too much. But yeah, absolutely. He liked to poke the bear. Definitely took unnecessary shots at Jeezy, but he has talked about them squashing it. I think he said they ran into each other at the airport on some random shit.
Oh, that's cool.
And this is even on the XXX album where he mentioned ain't talked to Jeezy in years, but still got love for him. Like pretty much like kind of getting older and reflecting on the shit I done. But either way, one of the things I was gonna say real quick, as we were talking about excitement, because I understand it's been a long time since I've been. Even like this battle, right? It's cool. I enjoy it. I was impressed. If that was 10 years ago, you would have got a text. 15 other niggas would have got a text. You see this? You see this? I didn't do that. Only the people I normally talk hip hop with, I'll be like, hey, what you think about this? Versus like Control. I remember when Control dropped, School was living with me at the time. I woke that nigga up. Hey, bro, listen to this.
Yeah.
Listen to this. Listen to this nigga Kendrick.
That was worthy of that, though. Like, not to be biased and then that was worthy of that. And I did receive those texts today or yesterday or whenever the fuck this shit came out. The group chat did post it several times. I was to the point where I rolled my eyes like, y'all can't be serious about this. Like, y'all can't be this invested. I'm posting shit about the Puff trial. And these niggas got Ray Vaughn and these niggas got Ray Vaughn and fucking Joey Bad. Like what's his name on Raising Kanan? Unique. These niggas got Ray Vaughn and Unique. And I'm like, man, bro, skip this. You see what Cassie said about nigga? Like, what?
Hey, so man, you a funny nigga, Spike. I fuck with it though.
But I don't, and it made me think, and that's what the question I got for you, and you almost got into it before we move on.
Oh, I didn't even ask my question. What gets you excited anymore?
That was gonna be the same thing I had.
Pause,
yeah, slight pause. Slight half pause. That was gonna be my question I had for you. Is there anything that could happen in hip hop that would excite you?
I wasn't even talking about hip hop. I'm talking about in general, like in life. What excites you? You still got stuff that like you get excited for?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
absolutely.
Cool.
It's mainly like TV like that TV shows that I get excited about. Like nigga, like that season. I'm not sure. Did you watch Paradise?
Absolutely. Episode 7.
That seventh episode, like shit like that. Like sporting, like game sevens, any sporting event, like a big sporting event, like the shit that means something. It don't feel like a lot of stuff in hip hop means stuff anymore to me. And that's why it's not exciting to me, because they act that way. They act like it don't mean nothing. Like it used to have a lot more relevant, a lot more like this shit means something in hip hop to me. And maybe because I was young and I just had a different perception of it. But yeah, there definitely still things that excite me in the sense of like, oh, I can't wait to see that. I can't wait to watch that. I can't wait to go like this is gonna be real off. But nigga, Sunday at the Masters is probably my favorite thing. Like this year, it went to the playoffs. Rory he ain't never won before, and was on the thing to win on the 9th hole and fucked it up. Like that shit was exciting to me. I was excited going into that Sunday. I'm excited to see Anthony Edwards possibly versus the Knicks in the finals. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like I was excited. Yeah, I was excited about Sinners. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited about the new Final Destination film. But hip hop really doesn't do that for me anymore because I think it's like you've alluded to earlier. I think I've seen it all. There's nothing that, like, I was excited when Lil Baby came out with his first album. When I first heard him, I was like, I can't wait to see how this dude does, even though he's let me down. I got one in music. There is one, like, you know, my man's Billy Gang.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to his concert on the 30th. I'm excited.
I was just about to say, to go to your original question about hip hop, if there's anything that makes me excited, the only thing I was going to say is live shows.
Live shows. That is true.
Live shows are the only thing that makes me excited.
I am hype about going to that show. I want to see what it's going to be like. I want to know what the experience is going to be like, what the crowd like, what he do on stage. I think it's his first show he's headlining. I've been trying to put people on him forever, getting mixed feedback. Niggas ain't fucking with him because they think he white. Some niggas fucking with him because they get it. Yeah. So I'm really excited to be in the building and be around people who fuck with it. I want to see what that's like.
I'm getting weak at myself because I'm picturing Spike front row, like, gosh.
That's what I know. I said that. I said it on deck. I'm gonna be way in the back. I just want to feel the essence. I want to see what it's gonna be like. I ain't even really got to see it. I'm gonna be like, I ain't gonna be nowhere near none of the niggas that I'm. Man, listen.
Yeah,
come on, bro. I'm gonna get there early. Might leave early if it ain't, but I just want to see what it's gonna be like because I fuck with dude music and the essence that he brings. I'm glad that genre of rap didn't die out because I felt like it almost had. And for him to bring it back and tap into that similar feeling that I had when Jeezy and Gucci and Gotti and those niggas was out, and to do it correctly and it not seem staged or fake, like it seems authentic. I want to know what it's like being in the building when he doing that and who in the building. I can't wait to see that. So I do live shows. Like I went to see Push. I went to see Push when he
we talked about
that shit.
I went to the same tour.
Yeah, that shit was
Dolo.
Exciting.
Drove to Columbus, went Dolo.
Bruh, one of the best things I ever seen live. I know we did talk about it, but the nigga did 3 encores. Like that was some of the coldest shit I ever seen. Like, oh, no, y'all niggas forgot that I got these. I can do the album, go act like it's over, good night, but now I'm coming back out and I'm dropping 5 more on you. Then I'm going in, doing another encore and dropping 8 more on you with features. That shit was exciting. So live shows. I would say that is the thing that excites me about hip hop. Like, and Jeezy got an orchestra coming up. I'm excited to go see that.
Yeah,
like I'm excited to see T.I. perform some of his old albums, like on the anniversary tours and shit like that, if he do that. So it live shows, you hit that on the nose.
And to your point, just about that Push, artists like that who are famous, they've been around for a while, but they still have a very specific fan base. Ain't nothing better than being in a room with those. Like, they wouldn't work at like a festival because you need the people that listen to Push. So being in there, people rapping word for word. I'm standing next to niggas that's doing some, like, not even B cuts, C cuts.
Yeah.
And niggas still spitting that shit. That lets you know.
And again, for me, what always impresses me is the attitude. Like, you got me fucked up. I hope you didn't come in here and think that I was going half-ass this, my nigga. I'm that nigga. That's what he was saying at that show. It's like, oh yeah, okay. I slick forgot. So that's what I appreciate. And again, for the new generation, the only thing I really see like that they do that is Ant.
And that's a perfect segue, my nigga, because that's the mindset we gotta have here. Another week in the books, and all the other things that we part of it. Like, y'all got me fucked up, and
facts.
That might be the longest lead-in convo we've ever had here at Another Week in the Books. Almost 25 minutes, but back again. Another episode, Chapter 29, Book 2. Here with the legend Spike Lou. I'm Rich. Appreciate all the bookworms out there, man. Thanks for tuning in, as always. Thanks for listening. Thanks for supporting. Thanks for all the feedback we get. I'm going to get into comments in a second. Quick reminder, this is something we said we were going to do when we started Book 2. Just because of not only the heavy workload that Spike and myself have in this space, but also just from a human level. Every 10 episodes, every 10 chapters, we're going to go ahead and take off. So this is chapter 29. We're going to take off next week and then come back strong with chapter 30. I'm going to talk to Spike about some things that we might do in the off week. Maybe not an official recording, but who knows? Maybe we hop on an IG live for a few minutes and just chop it up and things like that. Always give you feedback too. awitb2022@gmail.com. Another week in the books, and Instagram. Send us a DM. If you know us personally, just reach out to us, man. If you got something you're interested in hearing about, by all means, let us know. Spike Blue, how you feeling, man?
I'm good, man. Life, but we push through. We do what we do and come out on the other end how we're supposed to. But I'm good, man. Like, good refreshing episode last week. Got some feedback from it. Can't wait to get into that. What about you? How you feel?
Feeling good, man. Feeling good. It's I'll talk about it more in the episode, like when we actually get into our main point. Also, this is not going to be a super long episode. That intro might be the same length as what our main topic is in conversation, depending on how it goes. We ain't gonna cut each other off or cut each other short. So if it flows, it flows. But we don't really have much fluff to add to the episode, and we'll talk about that a little bit more. But before we get rolling, I do want to go to some comments that we got from last week's episode. Shout out to Joe, by the way. Shout out to Joe, man. Just an incredible human being, man. Shout out to Joe, man. I'm just 100%. I'm happy, even if it's by proxy through you, man. I got a connection with Joe and exchange numbers and stuff like that. I'll definitely be reaching out. Phil hit me up like, man, I need some Nashville homies because the Bengals they stay playing in Tennessee. So hit me up with Joe number 2.
Oh, I got some spots for him. Like I told you, my homie got to like he got to pull
spot.
Up on my boy. He got to.
Matter
right at the tequila spot, he's now opened an Italian restaurant. So he got like a pizza bar, pasta. Shout out to Duco's. Y'all go check that out in Nashville. If you're in Nashville, if you're passing through, go to Duco's. Some incredible pasta, some incredible pizzas. Make sure y'all support the home team, man. I love my brother. I'm proud. I'm so proud of him for everything he done put together over there, man. So if you're in Nashville, go to Makeshift and Duco's and check that out.
I ain't gonna hold you. Shout out to them, man. Absolutely. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. I told you I've never been in Nashville. This summer, one time when you pop up, let me know. I'm gonna pull up to Nashville.
If you want to meet down there, we can do that. I'll take you.
No, I just said it.
I don't do, Rich. You know I'm old. I went this weekend for Mother's Day, and it was a new club that opened up. They drugged me out.
What you doing?
They drugged me out, man. Shout out to Vibes, man. It was some new shit in Nashville. Nah, Lou, you gotta go. This is it. This. It was lit. I ain't even gonna hold you. It was worth my time. It was one of those things where being had moved out of the city, and this was a talked about hot thing that was going on when I get like in the city, like people were waiting on it anyway. It's one of those things where, like, if you go back to Cincinnati, you go there. I'm seeing people I ain't seen in years, bro. Oh shit, like nigga, like shit like that. So that made it worth it. I wouldn't make it a normal thing to go. I ain't saying if I lived there, I'd be there every week, but I'm glad that I did go because I run into a lot of homies that I ain't seen in a while. Got to add some contacts back to just niggas that I just ain't seen in a while. Just people in general, ladies that I ain't seen in a while. Just got to add some contacts and reconnect with some really, really good people. That's a strong part of the story that made Spike Lou, man. And I was glad I got to see those people. So I'm glad that I went, man.
That's dope. I love to hear that, man. Cool. I love to hear that. Yeah, I'm gonna pull up on you though. Pull up on you in Nashville, man, because I ain't never been to the city, man. I'm trying to see what all's there, the whole nine. Yeah, we gonna make it work, man. But going to YouTube first. Remind me to ask you a question, by the way, about something we discussed earlier this week. Because I don't. Did you do that thing you said you were gonna do with J-Hove?
Yes,
you did.
The link,
yeah,
was yeah. He fucked it up. Right, that got part to do with our feedback too. So, but I'll save that. But yes, we talked about it.
All right, I'll save that, or I'll talk to you about that off air. But we got a comment from Public Enemy B, our guy. Shout out to him. Love the convo y'all had this episode. Shout out to Joe for hopping on and providing the feedback. Absolutely couldn't agree more. Going to Spotify. Goody Jenkins hit us up on Spotify. Said, Rich, I live in Vegas. The next time you come out here, check out 745 LV and Echo Taste Sounds. I will look those up and see what they're talking about and feedback, and give you some feedback on them. Much appreciated. Got 2 more Vegas trips this year. I'm gonna see if Spike Lee coming. Man, he already told me, man. Let me know the dates, man. I'll buy a ticket, so we'll make it work. And then also, De Jour Falk, shout out to him, man. Our guy, also certified bookworm. Great episode as always, guys. I don't know if I would say there's something wrong with the podcast in this new book, but I feel like the book 1 was so personal, and y'all haven't got there yet. I feel like y'all have gotten there sometimes, including this episode with the relationships part of things. I say if y'all lean into that more, even if it's going more into your backgrounds, would definitely make it get that way. Loving the podcast no matter what, though. I agree with that. It was very personal. Part of the reason why Mo stepped away. It said, man, I gave so much of my soul to this podcast, man, that I had to take some of it back from myself. And I know that was a reason why he just felt like he didn't have anything else in him. And I think part of it, and I'll get your opinion on this, because getting directly into the feedback and what today's episode is the theme is going to be sitting with feedback, like receiving news, and what do you do about it? We live in an instant reaction society. Take some time, process what's going on, and then make your moves from there. So it's mostly just a discussion about what we've been doing this past week based on the things we've heard, which I thought was very refreshing. But one thing I will say, man, Spike Wu and myself, because we've worked on things together, I think we dropped the ball that and y'all heard it in the opening. Y'all heard it in the opening of this episode. Off the script, just had 20-something minutes, just being great conversationalists. And I think we relied on that, and we never sat down on some, what do you want this to look like? It was like a conversation in passing, and we gonna figure it out. And there wasn't really any structure, which Lou talked about last week. Whereas today, we got a shared note, a whole new outline for how we're gonna do things when we roll back with Chapter 30. Just more segments and more getting back to the real, trimming off the fat and getting back to what's real and what's meaningful, and those conversations that are really gonna matter. And I think with that, the personal side is gonna come out. But how have you spent this past week in regard to the feedback Joe gave us, Phil, other people? And I'll be the first to say it. One of my favorite things that I've done this week, man, was hopping on the phone with Spike Lou. We just hopped on the phone and talked for about 10 minutes about something that had nothing to do with business, recording, anything. And just like, oh shit, like that was a Lou and Rich moment where you just got to know, you just chopping it up with your boy and just hearing somebody say one thing and express certain things just about life. And that was one of my favorite moments, man. So I'm glad we started it. But what is it? What's been your outlook on this past week?
That too was one of my favorite moments of the week, just being able to, vent to you, get your feedback on some stuff, some personal stuff. So I appreciate you for that. And even taking that criticism into Mother's Day and being around my family and just even hearing Dro in my head, or the different feedback that I got in my head when I'm with my family, and just being more open with them about like just giving you loving feedback. I ain't saying this because it did make me feel a certain way, but I don't feel like that now. I don't judge you for it. I understand it, but I do want you to understand that it registered with me in a certain type of way that you may not know. And I'm cool with talking about it. Like, one of my favorite things this week's, in addition to talking to you, man, like for Mother's Day, I went home, got to chill with my family. Mom Dukes had everybody over to the house, cousins, aunties, all that good stuff. We just, we sit out, put on old school music, Ozzy Brothers, Marvin Gaye, Al Green, and we just talk, laugh, and just went over like memories and shit. Even if they weren't fond memories, and still were able to to process those and be like, damn, look how far we've came as a family from that point to now where we sitting at, what we looking at. Sitting on like just the successes that we've seen and where we've came from as a whole, as a unit, as a group. I can confidently say that from where I grew up at and what I grew up with to where my family is now is completely different. And it feels good to be able to sit back and talk about that shit. And like me being confident enough to tell stories that I would have never told my mom.
Mm-hmm.
Like me saying shit over Mother's Day weekend when she like, what? Nigga, what happened? You know what I'm saying? And just being totally surprised that like I didn't know that, but I didn't know that because I was, and she said this, nigga, because my auntie was like, nigga, like we were telling some story, and my auntie was like, see, I told you I raised him. You don't know half the shit. My mom was like, well, my fault. I was working 3 jobs trying to take care of him. Like, yeah, you might have these memories, my nigga, of him being around because you wasn't doing shit and you had all day to do whatever. But I was working 3 jobs and I didn't have time to do that. So thank you. I appreciate it, but don't try to come to me for it either. And it was fun though. It wasn't no negative. It wasn't like, oh, they was getting at each other. It was just different perspective on different things. And us being able to talk and laugh about those things, it was so refreshing. And that was one of my favorite things of the week. And that spun from being able to have someone like Dro come on, like another person who I love dearly, having that relationship and that past with him, to be able to like I said, similar to what my mom and auntie was saying. Like I worked through, like he's able to say those type of things to me because we have that history. I'm not going, I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm offended. Oh, nigga, how could you say that to me? Like I know he's coming from a place of love all the time. And to be able to process that information and not take offense to it, but be able to build on it and make yourself better from it, it goes a long way, man. And it started with what we did last week and having that podcast. I did receive, and I don't know if it's too early to get to it.
Now go ahead. We going.
Shout out my guy J Hove. J Hove listened to the episode and was texting me feedback.
Yeah.
And the nigga texted me, "You are a horrible, horrible friend." Like similar to what Dro said.
Okay.
And I asked him why he said this. And I didn't want to get into it with him on the text. So if he listening, he can hear my feedback now. But he was saying that in a sense. I was like, what makes you say? He's like, bro, you'll come in the city, you don't call, you hear it, like you like it's just. And he was like, I have to catch you versus you reaching out or us hooking up and making it a priority that we get together. But I know you don't mean anything by it because that's you. That's been your personality for 20, 30 years. Like it ain't, oh, I'm not fucking with you. It's like, oh, well, I got this going on. Like if you cool with coming over here, then come. If not, like I'll catch you when I catch you. But I got that shit from him. So I didn't take that feedback the same way I took Dro's. He the same, like the not answering the phones, I got that shit from Jay. Like I used to leave, like when niggas back used to leave voicemails, I used to leave voicemails fucking with him about not answering the phone. So he can't really critique me like that. He can't really say that. But I accepted it as a friend and didn't challenge him on it really. But it ain't the same as when somebody like Dro said more genuinely. And me and Jay Hove got, even though that's my dog, my brother, we have different friend groups too. Like we know each other enough not to mix friend groups. He knows some people like he know I can't go hang out with him and his friends. Just like I know he can't go hang out with me and my friends, even though I know his other friends, this ain't my type of party, bro. I'm not gonna be over here. And just like he would say the same thing to me. Like this ain't like, bro, why do you have me here? Like if I had called him and told him to pull up, like he would have been like, bro, come on, bro. Why am I here? So that's why me and Jay really don't connect. And he tried to put that more on me than I would have liked to, but I ain't really call him out. I just let him have it because he had just listened to the episode. But he commented on it. He ain't talked to Dro. Him and Dro grew up, all of us going to the same neighborhood. He ain't talked to Dro in 20 years. He said it made him want to reach out to Dro just from how well Dro did on this episode. And that goes to show what I'm saying. Like he'll say that, but he ain't gonna do it.
20 years?
Never reach out to it's been a long time since Dro and Jay probably talked. They just, again,
it's interesting.
It's two different friend groups. Like
I get it.
It's just two different. Like we're all from the same place, but it's different. It was different. It was a lot different.
Yeah, no, like, I get it.
They really wouldn't have a reason to talk, to be honest with you.
Listen,
I've always cool. You know what I'm saying?
And this is why I said it's interesting. Obviously, not because I know them personally. I say it's interesting because I think every friend group has something like that where, you know, once again, Rachel and myself talk about this a lot where, yeah, you got a friend group that's a group, but there's also people in that group that will never hang out together one-on-one.
Facts.
That's just how it works. And it don't mean nothing. It just means that I would just never hang out with this person one-on-one. For what? Like, remember going back, reference the episode of Entourage when nigga Turtle asked E, like, you want to go to such and such a night? He was like, just me and you? He was like, yeah, you're right. Like,
nah, I'm cool.
Like, yeah, like this just don't fit like that. We work together as a crew versus individually. And another reason I said it's interesting because I just talked to a friend, then my brother since the 4th grade. And, you know, when you get older, you start living different lives where some people have families. I'm single, no kids, and other people take care of business. It's easy just to kind of talk, go a stretch without talking, and then pick up where you left off. And I was like, to that point of being a terrible friend, I was like, you know what? Let me see what I can do. Because we're not always going to be able to link, but let me see what I can do. NFL schedule came out. I hit him up today like, hey, bro, I'm in Miami in December. Bengals and Dolphins. Like, I'm just letting you know right now, open invitation for all the stuff. Like, as much as I travel and I do things dolo, it's more so one of those, like, I can tell people, like, I don't like the planning of group trips. Like, I'm not a big group trip fan. Even if we do a group trip, I'm more so, I got my own agenda for the most part. We can do the big things together, but I'm going to be moving how I move. I can still extend the invitation on some, like, this is what I'm doing. If you're serious about it, let me know. I'll tell you my plans and what I've already got booked, and we can do all that. But I don't want to sit here and say I'm planning this trip. I'm just letting you know I'm going. And you're more than welcome to come if that's something that's going on. So I've been trying to do better with that.
That's what we're similar. Like I ain't putting nothing together, my nigga. Like I'm not doing no agendas. No, I'm gonna do this. If you're interested, then you do what you need to do to be there. So yeah, we're the same way.
That's exactly how it is. How did you feel personally, just grading yourself after getting feedback? Just even if it's not bad, like, it was all receiving love, man. And I'm so happy it was done. But there's still got to, I know for me personally, there's still a little bit of damn. You slipping, Rich. Like, damn, they right. It's one thing when they wrong, but when they right, it's like, damn.
It's been playing in my mind all week. It's been playing in my, like, somebody, like, we really got to have Sam on here because it's one of my biggest motivators as far as the friend that just calls me out, not from a, just from a, like what you said a beautiful thing in that clip. Like, it ain't that I'm criticizing you. It's just like, you looking at the ceiling, nigga, and I'm looking at the moon. Yeah. And you're going to be able to get to the moon from what I see, but it seems like you're just looking at the ceiling. And it plays like me. I've said on here many a times, I'm an overthinker. So it plays in my head time after time again. Like just today, Sam texted me. And he's one of the, like I said, he's one of the main reasons that I even started doing other podcasts besides On Deck, because he was the first one to ask me. He was like, okay, bro, yeah, this is a great podcast, but okay, what does that mean? What's next? Like, what do you do with that? And he texted me today, sent me a voice note, and he was like, nigga, you have like 4 or 5 viral moments from this last On Deck episodes, and you ain't got no clips. Like, there's like, why? Like, why are there no clips from this, bro? Like, I shouldn't go to your page and see you in just like outfits and shit, nigga. I should go to your page and these things that I thought were clips should be clips because that's what everybody else in your field is doing. And I don't look at them as professionals and you as somebody to just do this. I look at you just like them. So if Joe Budden got clips and 520 podcast got clips and Nori got clips and all of these people got clips, why don't you have clips? Because I'm a fan of you. And I don't see that from you, and more people need to know about it and how you do it. He sent me in a voice note today. And only thing that I can say back is I'm working on it. And to your point, like when you say grading yourself, I would say about C, because I've moved past the point to where, all right, you're going to show up to the podcast, you're going to do the podcast, you're talented at what you do, and then you leave it at that. I was talking to J Hove this week because I do make it a point now, since we've said that I try to reach out throughout my commute home to at least one person a week and just talk. And he and I have came up with a plan how he's going to help me as far as just getting the links and what you asked me about.
Yeah.
But even in the sense of how to figure out the clip thing, how to figure out the presence thing, and he told me, he was like, bro, in a moment of sincerity, he was like, you do a lot of stuff. Another Weeks in the Books is not a podcast that you can just pull up and do. This has to be the one that you invest in. This has to be the one that the clips come from, that the merches get pushed up for, that the web, like all the other stuff is fine. I'm not telling you to stop doing it. But what you and Rich do and what you and Mo did, this isn't the one that you can do. Like this ain't dead end sports. This ain't even on deck. This ain't frames per second. This ain't good earners. This is different, and this is the one that you have to invest in. And investment, not even like from a financial standpoint, but just from a thought process standpoint and a time standpoint. How do you make a bigger impact from this? Because what you're doing now is you're just pulling up and you're doing it, and it's fine because you talented and Rich talented, and Mo was talented and bringing out of what you did. That's fine. But this needs to be the one that you make the investment into. Like the clips got to be out there, the merch got to be out there, the landing page got to be out there, the 30, 60, 90 day plan got to be out there. Like y'all niggas really have to sit down and figure out how you're going to invest in this versus just pulling up and doing a podcast. Because you can do that. You've proven that. And that's what Sam has been trying to tell me. And Jay told me that this week. He's like, you proven, bro. You can pull up and do a podcast. That's fine. Dro said that on the episode. It's like bro can sit in the room and talk to anybody about anything, and he's going to fit in. But that ain't what this particular podcast is about. So that's what's been on my mind most of the week, and why I grade myself as a C, maybe even C-, because I'm listening to those things and thinking about and processing those things and trying to figure out, okay, how do I change that?
Yeah.
Like, how do I get out of the mindset of, okay, me and Rich gonna pull up on Thursday with such a good conversationalist that we can talk for an hour and we can be entertaining, and then boom, it's done. It's out on Friday. People listen to it. They may get something from it. They may get more from it on other episodes, but it's out. We did it. This ain't that. And really processing and understanding that, and what you and I have taken on as far as the second chapter of this book. This ain't, I'm pulling up to do a podcast. And
100%.
we really got to understand that.
No, I couldn't agree more with that, because that's one of the things that I think I started realizing midway through doing this. Put it like this in perspective. This is the only podcast where I only draw from my personal life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like everything else, I can tie in my personal life based off of what we're discussing, whether it be film, television, music sometimes, or not sometimes, music for you, along with those other things. This is the one where I don't have any crutch. You got to keep it a buck, or you got to not do anything. Yep. And I think that's where we got caught in that spell of current event conversations. Because neither one of us were taking it to a point where we were prepared enough or really put enough thought into what are we going to do. We end each episode, let's get better this week. I wasn't taking my own advice on how are we going to make the pod better this week? What are we going to do? What are we going to sit down? And I love, you talk about the perspective of what's it going to take to change. Sometimes, and this is part of the reason why we're having this episode of processing things, sometimes we're so quick, and we've done it before in this episode where we said, we just got to get up and do it. Yes, that sounds great, but there always needs to be a plan. That always needs to be a plan. I mean, pen to pad, that type of plan, not just saying it, because you can do things, but that's how you stay on it. That's how you stay on top of things, and that's how you make sure everything's good. So when I sent you that outline today, just on some like, yo, this is what I'm thinking. Just taking those first steps of we need to strip this down and build it back up. And I said it, like I said, I think book one had the same thing. If you go back and listen, I think it did take some chapters to find its footing and figure out what it was. And I never asked you or Mo, ironically enough, like how y'all even came up with what you're going to talk about each week. Sometimes I feel like that episode of Martin, season 2, episode 1. Remember the time when they talked about how they met? That whole thing happened because Martin couldn't remember. Like Martin didn't have nothing to talk about for his talk show. And sometimes getting ready for this week feels like that. Like, damn, it'll be Wednesday. And I have no idea what the fuck we gonna discuss or talk about. Some of it, I look at myself on some, well, damn, my nigga, you ain't living up this week. Because you should be able to draw from something that happened to you this week and have a great conversation about it. And that's what made me, I'll tell you right now, I'll give myself an F. The reason I give myself an F is because there's no reason for this shit. And if you followed Another Week in the Books page, you have seen a couple more clips this week, and that's going to get ramped up even more. Culture Guard, you've seen a couple more clips this week. You see me sharing a little bit more. You're going to start seeing me get more active on my social media just because, and this is something we're not good at, Spike, and it reminds me of anybody out there seeing that Tyler, the Creator clip where he said, you mean to tell me you spent all this time creating something and you too cool to promote it? Like, you too cool to promote it? Like, you the one that made this shit. And you're not promoting your own shit. You just move on to the next thing. And that always resonates and hits with me because, damn, he right. I don't even go back and Mo been saying this is book 1. Like, nigga, treat this shit like game film. Like, I got this thing about, like, man, once it's done, it's done. It's out there in the universe, you go. But now listen to these episodes, critique yourself. Because sometimes, shit, you might be afraid of what you're listening to. And not from a bad standpoint, but from a, damn, this is actually good. Because you know what's terrible, Spike?
What's up?
People always look at it as, oh, I ain't getting enough views, or, you know, maybe I'm not good enough to do this. You know what's even worse? What's worse is when you know you good enough, when you know you the shit, when you know you got some good ass product and you can't move it. Because I'm not doing enough to move it. Like, I'm not taking this as seriously as I should. I take it serious enough to the point where I'm showing up and we're recording and we're getting great content, but I'm not taking it too serious to the point where everybody needs to hear this. Because two cool ass niggas with that mindset of like, whoever gonna get it, and that's cool with me. But that ain't cool with me. This can go so much further. And as I said in previous chapters, if that means some people gotta laugh at us for doing some shit, if that means we gotta do some voiceover work on a reel or make a TikTok or do some shit that we said we would never do, then fuck it, because we got to make sure we exhaust all options when it comes to it. So that's why I say I give myself an F, because I know better. Ain't nothing worse than knowing better. And all this shit is at your disposal. And once again, no shade to anybody, but looking online and seeing, like, to Sam's point, everybody else, I'm looking at these niggas. I think, what was it? You said it last week. Sam said, like, why am I looking at this light-skinned nigga on my timeline and I don't see you nowhere? And you record 6 times a week. That's some real shit. I should be on somebody's internet. Right. With how much I work, because I tell you what's happening as well, just to add on before I let you go. You do this shit so much and so often, you start, self-doubt can creep in. I'm not saying it's going to last or overcome or be the winner, but it can creep in like, man, shit, man, I've been doing this shit good. Ain't nobody listening yet. Well, maybe that's a sign. Maybe that's this, that, and the third. And then you snap out of it. Like, nah, nigga, go harder. Like, do more to get it to more ears. Because I promise you, like, we got y'all right now. We over there talking about raising Cain on the We Got Y'all. And I promise y'all, man, it's some of the best work I've ever done. Me and Rachel, some of the best conversations. The season's been amazing. We're having some great conversations. And me and Rachel always say, man, I promise you, man, we keep pushing this shit like we need to. All we need is that right person to listen. And they gonna fuck with it because it's that good. I feel the same way about Another Week in the Books. I feel the same way about everything that we do. Gridiron Jungle, all that shit, man. We seen the effect of Sopranos and Good Earners and what that means and we didn't even promote that like we should have. So it's really, man, day by day, step by step, taking this shit to another level. And we've started that process, and that's what I'm most proud of this week. We've actually started the groundwork. We're not just talking about it right now. And I think you and I are going to do a good job of holding each other accountable. to that point, because I don't think either one of us wants to let this shit just die on the vine. Like, it's got to go there. And if that means that I got to drop 50 tonight, I'm dropping 50. If that means me and Spike got game 5, Kyrie and LeBron, we both dropped 41, triple doubles, whatever the case is, that's what it's going to be. But we're going to be there to lift each other up at the same time, because it is that good and it is that talented, but it can't just be lip service. It got to be real.
You said a lot of important things right there. And one of the biggest things that I took back from it was it made me feel like a hypocrite to what I was just talking about in our cold open. Like when I say,
like this new generation, the old school, they
show up and it's like, yeah, you good, but do you, like, how hungry are you for it? And like, I'm doing the same thing that a little baby will do, or a motherfucker to show up and like, yeah, I know I'm the nigga. Like, I can do, like, what you want to talk about. Like, what kind of conversation that you want to have? Like, it ain't no, there are very few things that you finna be like, Spike, Luke can't talk about that. However, when it comes to what Kobe said, it ain't about being able to do it. It's about waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning and perfecting it. It's about going to the gym, putting the shots up, making sure that, yeah, nigga, I'm cold. I know that. But how cold are you going to be? And how hard are you going to work to stay cold? And like what you just said about game film and all of that, is still, like, I listen back sometimes, but I still don't do it enough. Not enough to be like, here's the critique I have for this week. Here's why I could get better, or anything of that nature. So as you were talking, it made me realize, it's like, yeah, you're doing the same thing that you mad at niggas in the rap game for doing now. Oh, I'm going to show up and brag, and I know I can do this. I can do my Boss Man D-Lo flow, a 2 or 3 minute song. I'm out of here, and I'm on to the next thing. When that ain't really what it's about. It's about, nigga, how much work you finna put into this? Like, how good are you? Like, you good, but how good are you looking to be at this shit? And you said a lot of that in your soliloquy. Well, excuse me, you said a lot of that in your monologue, and I don't want to rehash it just from a different perspective, because you nailed it. But yeah, I may even downgrade my grade to a D. I ain't gonna go to an F, because I feel like that we at least made a step forward, so it ain't failing. We said what we were going to do is at least start having conversations on a weekly basis and start moving towards getting more structure and doing the things, and we did that, but we didn't do enough. And no one should be hitting me up talking about clips. That shouldn't be a thing. This is my profession. This is what I do. So it shouldn't be a layman hitting me up saying, hey, you need to do this, you need to do that. What you think about this, what you think about that. Those should be my thoughts. Like, it shouldn't be a person out there that should be able to tell me, man, you need to do more YouTube clips, or you need to do more shorts, or you need to go live on Instagram. I've been doing this for a decade. There's nobody out there that should be telling me you should do this way. I know more about this shit than most people that do this shit. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's Joe Buttons or Charlamagne. I've been doing this shit since niggas didn't know what it was. When I told them, hey, this is a podcast, me and Animal Brown do this, we talk about, is that a radio show or what? Like, I've been doing it since then. So it's nobody that could come to tell me, oh, you can do it this way. And that's not saying that I'm not open to criticism, or that I don't think that there's people out there that are more knowledgeable of this stuff than me. But even then, them coming to me and telling me stuff, I can add to that as well. Like, there's nobody that can tell me how I should be doing this shit. It's just that I'm not doing it. So that goes to your point as far as the F, Rich. It's like, you know what you're supposed to do, then do it. Like, figure it the fuck out. It ain't rocket science, bro. It's just you committing to doing it. It's like, is you gonna lay down, or is you gonna do this little editing? Is you gonna figure out how to edit this, or get somebody to edit it for you, or you gonna play Madden? You gonna watch this TV show you've been wanting to watch, or are you gonna figure out how to do the reels and the YouTube shorts and the things that are gonna put you on people's timeline, just like everybody else is? Yeah, they got a team. Yeah, they got a bigger budget. Yeah, all of these things are true. However, there are ways that we could still do it and make it effective and still be out there because we are that talented. You, me, just like there is no reason that people should be reaching out to me saying the things that they say. And I'm not saying that from an arrogant standpoint or that I'm offended by it, because I do appreciate those people for reaching out and saying those things because they see the sky versus the ceiling when I'm just looking at the ceiling. So yeah, I'm taking that responsibility on, and I couldn't ask for a better person beside me to tackle that problem.
Appreciate you, fam. I echo those same sentiments, and you're right. D-, D. I think that's fair because we have started making those steps, and it feels real. I will say that to those who don't see the behind the scenes work. And I know we say this a lot, but unless you have a personality like Spike or myself, you don't understand what it's like to have a full day of doing other stuff and then being like, oh, I got to get on the phone too. And there's nothing against whoever you got to get on the phone, but it's just more so I'd rather just sit here and play the game or sit here and watch the show or watch the playoffs. But nah, man, we said we was going to do this. And that's what it comes down to. I think I said it. If that's how you want to, if that's the easiest way to get something done with me. Call me out for some shit I said I was going to do and I didn't do. So if I said I'm going to talk to Spike, you know what? Bet. Here we are. Like, let me make sure I reach out to Spike, man. Like I said, that led into a great conversation. That had nothing to do with none of this. It was just more so brother to brother. What's going on in life type things, and like, all right,
just what you think about this, just as a man, as a black man out here trying to survive like me, what you think about this situation?
Absolutely, man, and it made things more real, where it's not, even though we haven't, which is still wild, even though we haven't connected in person, it puts into place what I already know. It's that's my nigga. Like, I fuck with Spike Lee. And sometimes you only tell people you fuck with them when you record with them or through a text. And sometimes it's cool just to have none of that be in the picture, and you on the phone like, oh yeah, da da da. So that shit's cool. I will say, just as far as we get into the solution and wrapping this episode up, I said that I see the differences already. We've already got the outline. Shout out to Dro. The book club is coming. If you are interested, make sure you email us awitb2022 at Gmail, or DM us and give us your email address if you are interested in the book club. Since we are another week in the books, since we do call y'all bookworms, it only makes sense to include books, knowledge, and what we're doing and reading into the episodes and have a segment for that, as well as a side book club. Maybe we talk once a month, whether it be via Zoom, whether it's a Discord that's made, whatever the case is, so we can all kind of share that knowledge and go from there. But also, I mentioned me just getting on this social media game. And I don't want to say laziness, but it is time consuming when you're trying to do all this stuff at once. But you reach a point like, nah, man, you gotta buck down and do it. You gotta make sure that you schedule out your days a certain way. So the reason I'm talking about solutions is because I'm not just saying, hey, you got to carve some time out. I've actually planned on how that's going to look, right? In order to make these clips, because we do have some AI technology that makes some clips for us. But then I look back and I'm like, man, we got a lot of the things that we could talk about or we've done and discussed in these episodes. I've set aside a day of the week or multiple days a week where if I'm playing the game, I'm going to be listening to the pod as well. So I can outline, all right, boom, that's a moment that I can clip up. That's a moment that I can clip up. And it's easy to do once I find it. It's about going through the hour and a half, 2 hours and trying to sit there. It's somebody who doesn't listen to himself. But I'm like, nah, you got to change that. You got to watch the game film. You got to get those clips. You got to make sure you put them out there. And set aside 5-6 clips an episode. So you can put one out each day. Maybe sometimes you can put something out every other day. And the reason I got to do is sitting down playing the game, because I can actually stop and make note of it in real time, versus if I'm cleaning up or driving, I'm not going to be driving and then, oh, that's a good part, and trying to pull out and say, oh, 10 minutes, 47 seconds, clip this up. Like, nah, I want to be locked in and focused. I want to make sure, and I'm looking at this for the second part of the year. I've already looked at all the podcasts I'm a part of and looked at scheduling. Like, how is this realistically going to work? How much? I don't want to feel like every single day I'm potting. Can I double up on some of these days? Can I do more weekend shows? Like, can I have more weeknights where it doesn't feel like I'm working and then jumping straight to try to rush to get something to eat and then trying to record and then trying to stay up late to do all the other things, and now I'm waking up sleepy as fuck because I've been trying to, you know what I mean? I'm trying to get my time in when I'm doing everything else. all of that shit can be structured, and I've started that process and really started building that board of trustees. I've already started doing that and literally writing things down, like writing these are the people I want to reach out to. This is somebody I want in my corner financially. I want to make sure I can check in with them at least every other month, every 3 months to talk about some finance stuff with them. These are the people I'm personally with, like, you know what I'm saying, just on some black man shit. Good. Black women. These are some black women, man, I can go to on some, hey, man, what you think about this? Am I fucked up for thinking like this? Am I, you know, how does this impact you? The whole nine, man, it runs across the board professionally, right? Career-wise. Like, these are some people I could pick jewels from a business aspect. So this is the first time that since we've been doing this, I've actually sat down and started writing it. And now I see it. Now it's there, it's real. I see it. So now it's easy. And that's why you've been seeing an uptick in certain things. And now it's become the standard. And once it becomes that standard, it keeps going. So I'm dedicated. I promise y'all, this is not just talk. We are there at that point. Go ahead.
I would love for you to share some of those processes with me because I'm still working through a lot of those things.
Absolutely.
I'm definitely still working through getting out of that mentality of doing it by myself. I know it takes a village, and I still try to tell myself, well, you got to bear the brunt of the impact when that ain't necessarily true. And I think that's one of the most fruitful things that I'll receive from this, as far as you and me talking more, that path that you're taking and me getting out of my head as an only child and being like, no, you have to do this. You can't ask for help. If you want to do it, you got to figure it out. That's been the hardest thing for me, is trying to get out of that mode of, you know, you the person need to figure it out, versus presenting a problem to someone that you trust and them helping you figure it out. That's one of my biggest holdbacks as far as where I need to be as well. So I look forward to talking to you and to continue to rap with you as far as getting out of that mindset of it's Spike Lee versus no, it's Spike Lee and these village of people that can help you do this.
Yeah. We're gonna work on that over time, man, because that's the biggest thing for you, Spike. Because I'll give you some feedback, and some praise at the same time, because this goes with the growth and what I've seen already in this past week. Echoing what Sam had told you, so I'm not saying anything new. We know, you know what I know. There's no reason why I go to I Am Spike Lee every week on All Day. I Am Spike Lee on those same socials. Holla at your boy. Mm-hmm. For what? For what? To go and see the 5 posts that you got? What the fuck are we looking at? To see you not repost an episode that you did? To see your stories empty for days? Like, think about it. Like, on some real shit. And I can say the same about me. Like, why would you tell somebody to go? If I was a new listener and I'm fucking with you, because that's the thing that I've learned in this podcast space. It's really not about the content. It's about the personality. A lot of people just fuck with you because I fuck with this person and I want to learn more about them. And I think we talked about it. I got feedback from a homegirl when she told me you need to document your move to Cleveland. And I said, who the fuck will watch that? And she was like, you will be surprised at how many people just care about what you're doing. That's why Get Ready With Me videos go crazy like that, because people are just interested.
Man, that nigga,
people live
that nigga got to deal with the Jaguars. Did you see that?
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm saying. Nigga got laughed at. They laughed all the way to the bank. You get what I'm saying? Like, that shit crazy. And look, you and I are sitting here, and no shade, I'm not even dissing, but I'm a believer that everybody can get a bag. But if he get a bag, then we should get one too. We should get opportunities and look too. But the difference is, he put himself in position by putting himself out there and didn't care. Like, I'm going to put this content out. I'm going to be consistent with it. I'm going to be disciplined with it. And now it leads to that. No different than the Target nigga that was doing all that stuff. Yeah. But guess what? Everybody's talking about it. These companies talking about it, the whole nine. So when I look at it, I'm looking at my page the same way. Like, yo, I can do more and share more and be more creative, because I see 5 Luke. There's no reason you've been podding for 14, 13 years, bro. There's only 5 posts, my nigga. Like, this is not. Like, I want to know about Spike Lee. Like, even as your co-host, like, I'm saying it. Like, I would love to know about it. But the praise part of it is, since we had that conversation, it was 4 posts. It's 5 posts because Spike Lee did post a clip from Another Week in the Books. So that's him taking his podcast and what he does and not just posting it in a 24-hour story. I'm putting this on my page so y'all can see what's up. And I'm gonna view that post as a turning point. I'm gonna view that post as a turning point. This is the point where everything changed. Now, will it take some time to figure out what that content is and what it looks like? Sure. So one step at a time. Maybe I'm not ready to put post up, but maybe I can start reposting things in my stories, making sure that when on deck drop, I got it. Now you do a good job of that, like I said, with frames per second, put it in your stories, but maybe you give a little bit of feedback too. Maybe you give a 30-second. You doing a solo review on the John Hamm show. I forget the name of it right now.
My friends and neighbors.
Yeah, maybe you do a short video on some. Hey, y'all, I'm doing the solo review. Maybe y'all haven't checked it out. It's on Apple TV Plus. I'm telling you right now, you need to watch this show. I'm gonna give you 3 reasons why you need to tune in right now, and you just make that a post. And guess what? It's gonna get 3 views, and then you're gonna make another post, and it's gonna get 10 views. You're gonna make another post. It's gonna get 17 views. You're gonna make another post, and it's gonna go back down to 12 views. But so on, so forth. And then you look up over time, and it's no different than saving money, right? We're going to look at this like, man, if we started then, think about where we could have been had we done this shit consistently every single day. And there's just no, I said it last week, and I'm going to let you close out if you have anything else, but this is the turning point where it's either going to work or it ain't going to work. And it's really that simple. Either we going to let this shit die or it's going to go to a whole nother level. There is no in between. There is no none of that. So I have belief that it's going to that another level. And like I said, that feedback wasn't just for you. That's for me too. That's for me to make sure I'm staying on top of my shit and I'm doing everything because people love that authenticity. That's why people still come and fuck with us. They know it's real. It's not made up.
I have the same. I appreciate the feedback, and I have the same thought as you. Either it's gonna go or it's gonna die, and I don't think it's gonna die. I think that we're too talented of people, and I ain't just talking about you. I'm talking about me, you, Ray P, Mo, School, like AB, all the people that we work with. We're too talented of a people to say it's just gonna die. Like there's no world that I see where these things don't continue to happen. So why not do the things that need to be done to make this be put in front of as many people as it needs to be put in front of, even if you're saying, I don't want to do that to be popular, but find your own way to fucking do it. And that's what I'm talking to myself. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to everybody that's associated with it. And I've had this mindset for the longest time of, well, I mean, I'm on air talent. I ain't getting into editing. I ain't getting into social media. Like what I do is what I do as Spike Lee. But that is a thing. And I do believe that. However, if that's going to be a thing, then I need to open myself up to being open to working with more people who are creative in other fields and that are able to say, well, I'm going to clip it. I believe in this, or this is how much it costs me to clip it. And you need this. So let's figure out something. I want to show my skill. You're showing your skill. So I haven't done a good job in that. And with what you're being said, that's one of the things that's to my list as far as getting better on a weekly basis is this is a team effort. That's the biggest thing for me. And one of the biggest things I think is holding me back. Like not understanding that this is a team effort. When I took this endeavor on, I took it on because someone asked me what was next. And I said, well, I'm going to show you what's next. And then I put everything on my back and said, I'm going to do this, and this to show people I can conversate in any room. It don't matter. But now it's to the point where that's fine. You can do that. But now it's a team effort as far as getting those conversations to the places they need to be gotten to. And I understand that more so than I have ever, getting feedback from my friends, in which I appreciate that they're comfortable enough with me to say, all right, it's cool, bro, but there should be more. They ain't telling me, oh, all right, man, good job on doing this, your podcast, man. It's really dope. Like, I'm glad that I have people like Drew around me that ain't like, bro, like, you're better than this. This is great. This is good, but you're better than this. And I know you are. I see the potential in it because I see the rest of these niggas out here. So that's one of the things that I will be working on is getting out of that mindset of it's a me thing versus what does the team look like as a whole?
Everybody got it.
What does the team look like as a whole? And me and you gonna have a conversation about that this weekend offline as far as just building up the business. But to close it out, man, this has been one of the more personable episodes that we've had in this chapter. I personally think it rings to episode the book 1, and we'll continue to have episodes like this because we're continuing to find ourselves and put ourselves in position as to where this is the thing. Like, as my guy J Hope said, yeah, you can pull up and do all those other podcasts that you want to do, but this is the one that you need to invest in. And I think you understand that too. So
yeah, absolutely. It took some time, but I'm there. What was that? I can't remember what song it was. J. Cole said it, man. Look, my nigga, we got a foot in. Being good is good. That'll get you Drew Gooden. But me, I want Jordan numbers, LeBron footing. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's being good is good. That'll get you Drew Gooden. You can be Drew Gooden. That's cool.
Be Drew Gooden. Playing the league 15 years, average 12 points. Yeah. Some people remember your name. Some people ask who you are.
But as everybody in your circle says, people in my circle say, but why would you only want to be Drew Gooden when you can be Jordan, when you can be Kobe, when you can be Bron? Like, you have that potential. Yeah, like it's there. Like, if it wasn't, I'll tell you, like, nigga,
yeah.
But when it's there, it's a whole other thing, man. So it's funny, in real time, I figured out what the name of this episode was gonna be.
What's that?
To quote one of our favorite movies, saddest thing in life is wasted talent.
That's
the title of this episode.
Shout out to
saddest thing in life is wasted talent. Bronx Tale. So yeah, and that's what I think this is
randomly
going to be. Go ahead.
You're a movie file. You've seen Cooley High, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Nick said, do you think that Cooley High is a must-see top 15 black film?
Absolutely.
Thank you. I was trying to convince Nick that this is random and off topic, and it took us in a whole other place as far as what you was going to close out. But I just had to certify that with you. Like, I couldn't believe,
I get it.
I couldn't believe that a nigga thought that, like, bro, Cooley High. Again, if y'all still listening to this, take everything in this episode, process it, comment, rate, like. But this is extra footage. I couldn't believe that a nigga told me that Cooley High wasn't a must-see black film. That's insane to me.
That's a generation thing, though, because that's like telling somebody today that's 25, 26, yeah, man, go back and listen to Run DMC.
That's fair.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure they can appreciate what they did and their greatness and why they in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and this and the third. They're gonna be like, man, I ain't trying.
Their album would be much listened to though. But I still think Cooley High holds up. Like, I think Cooley High, as far as a coming of age black movie, like, that may be number one for me.
Yeah, like, it could be. If we made a ranking of that could be. I know one of the most important movies is Hollywood Shuffle. Just that whole process behind that. There's a lot of movies from the 70s, 80s. I think Hollywood Shuffle was 84, whatever it was, 86, something like that.
I don't think I've
a lot of films that are older. Hollywood Shuffle?
Yeah.
Robert Townsend, yeah, it changed. He was filming in LA, man. He didn't have a permit for some of them shoots. He would dress his film crew in UCLA gear as they filmed around campus, so people thought that they were students because they were illegally shooting that film. Like, maxed out credit cards to make it, yeah.
Robert Townsend, a beast, though.
Yeah, man. He became a legend because of the stories behind making that film. But not to go too far off script, man. We appreciate y'all as always, man. As always, bookworms, please, not just ourselves. And I promise y'all, man, there's gonna be me and Spike, man. We cooking, and just being able to check in with each other and call each other out, like, hey, bro. This week wasn't your week, bro. You slipping. Every time I checked in, you weren't doing that. And you was doing this. Like, just making sure we start saying this, doing the things we say, man. And I'm excited about where it's going to land. But also keep us responsible and keep us accountable as well. We are going to be off next week. Just telling y'all again, we will be off next week. Chapter 30. We will be having school back. I believe that's the timeline. We got school back to discuss. He'll be close to 1 year and 2 or 3 weeks by the time we record. And what he's been going through in the past year with his sobriety, and that whole journey. If y'all remember book 2, if you want to listen to it as we're waiting, by all means do that. And like I said, Spike and myself, just be on the lookout. Make sure you follow Another Week in the Books on Instagram, because we might be putting an announcement if we decide to go ahead and try to do a live. And trust me, it ain't gonna be nothing fancy. It's gonna be two brothers chopping it up, man. Two brothers still learning each other, just becoming friends versus podcasters, and all that. And I just think that's cool, man. Just trying to talk it up and make it a little bit more personable to DeJour's point about the two of us and having y'all more invested in what we got going on. So we'll figure it out. It might happen, it might not. We want to make sure everything's planned out perfectly. But worst case scenario, we'll see y'all in 2 weeks for Chapter 30. Like, subscribe, share. We appreciate y'all. New format. You'll see what I mean when we come back. And with that being said, let's make sure we get better this week. Peace.
Facts.